that we realize that when God talks about this branch that will take away the sins of the nation, he's talking about Jesus. And if we look in Hebrews 7:26, it says, Jesus is the kind of high priest that we need. He is holy, sinless, and pure. He's not like Joshua. He's without fault. He's without blemish. And so he can represent his people. And it says that in Hebrews as well, that Jesus died so that everyone who obeys him can receive salvation. So this branch, this servant who was going to cleanse Joshua, who was going to cleanse the nation that Joshua represented, wasn't just going to cleanse Joshua or Israel, but he was coming to cleanse everybody who believed in Jesus. But there's a condition to this. There was a condition when this was written, and there's a condition to us today. In verse 7 it says, "This is what the Lord All-Powerful says. If you do as I tell you and serve me, you will be in charge of my temples and my courtyards, and I will let you be with these angels who are standing here." Think about the words of Jesus. If you follow me, if you do as I tell you, if you follow me. There's a condition to this removal of sin. This being taken from a place of shame, a place of rejection from God, and a place of destruction to a place of acceptance, to a place of peace, to a place of perfectness. And the condition is, will you follow me? That was a challenge to the Israelites at the time. They'd been brought back from captivity, and they were starting to build the temple again. For us today, it's a challenge. Will you follow me? We all start off away from God, separated from God by our sin. Because of the work of Jesus on the cross, he can offer us redemption. He can offer us acceptance. But there's a condition. Will you follow me? Will you serve me and obey my teachings? And then in verses 7 to 10, there's a description about the future for those who choose to accept the conditions, for those who choose to say, yes, I will follow you. To Joshua, he is told that he will serve in the temple, he will serve in the courtyards, and one day he'll serve in heaven. And I know that it's been said a lot as we've been thinking about Roger and what Roger was saying to us. But the words, the Lord has good plans for us. Not plans of danger, of hurt, but of safety, of hope and a future. That's the promise that's offered to Joshua, to the Jewish nation, and to us today. That if we choose to follow Jesus, if we accept him on his offer, if we accept him on his conditions, he'll allow us to do what we were made to do because he made us. He created this world. And he holds the future in his hands. For Joshua, it was serving in the court, serving in the temple, because he was a high priest. That's what he was made to do. Now, I don't know what it is for you today that you were made to do, but God does. And he says, if you follow me, I can take away your sin. I can take you from a place of rejection and shame. And I can allow you to live life the way it was made to be lived. But at every point of your life, I can assure you that you are doing what you were made to do, doing what I made for you. And in verse 10, there's another description about the future for those that choose to accept Jesus' offer. It says, in that day, each of you will invite your neighbour to sit under your own grapevine and under your own fig tree. Now, it's probably not the most relevant description for us today. I don't know how many of you have grapevines and fig trees. I haven't got one in my garden yet, working on it. But what God's saying there is that if you choose to follow me, if you accept the removal of sin that I offer to you, then you'll receive peace. You'll receive fulfillment to such an extent that you'll be able to say to your friends and to the people that you come in contact with, come, enjoy with me, just, enjoy how I've been blessed. We won't be striving for our own satisfaction because we'll be satisfied in Jesus. So I just want to go over what we've covered so far. One, that we have all stood before God in dirty rags. But God has silenced Satan, the accuser, the person who reminds us of our shame. That God has chosen to save us. He's chosen to pluck us from the fire. That He has offered to remove our sin from us if we choose to follow Him. And He promises to give us a life of peace, of hope. It sounds brilliant, doesn't it? But you might be sitting here thinking, well, that sounds great, Pete, but, I've said, yeah, I want to follow Jesus. But I don't feel peace. And in all honesty, I don't have much hope. Well, there's a reminder in this passage for us if we're feeling like that. One is that there's a reminder that there's an accuser out there, a tempter, a persecutor, a liar, and a deceiver. Now, God has silenced him. He said, no, Satan, you have no hold over my people. But sometimes we can still listen to him. We forget that Jesus loves us unconditionally. That when we say, I love you and I want to follow you and I'm sorry for all that I've done, we forget that he says, that's it. Now I see you as whiter than snow. And we start to feel ashamed of things that we've done in our past. Even though that we've said sorry for them, we still feel trapped by them. We still feel bound by them. We need to remember that God has said to Satan, no, I reject you and I've chosen my people. He has chosen you. And I really want to encourage you tonight, if there's something in your life that you know that you've repented for, but still you know that it holds you back, you know that you still feel shame because of it, I want to challenge you and encourage you tonight to recognize that shame isn't right. That shame doesn't have any hold over you anymore because of Jesus' work on the cross. You can just say, no, that's not right. I know that Jesus loves me, that he sees me whiter than snow, that he offers me peace, that he offers me acceptance. So that's one of the reasons sometimes we can know the truth about God, but not see it in our life. But also there's a warning here that we need to serve God. And we need to have faith in him. We need to be obedient to him.